Good morning, folks. We got two grinders in the shop today. This is my Milwaukee non-brushless grinder that I picked up. It was 99 bucks on sale for just the BAUER tool. This is not the fuel version. This is the regular one. I will put the model number on the screen. The regular old grinder, 99 bucks. I just picked this up recently. It's like brand new. And then my buddy, he has the BAUER, the 20 volt BAUER from Harbor Freight. This guy is only 40 bucks. And we've been working together a lot recently, and I've been using some of the Harbor Freight tools, and I've been pleasantly surprised at how nice they are. Some of them have worked just as good as my Milwaukee stuff that I have, and I just always have had Milwaukee because that's what I grew up using with my dad. And we've had some tools from Milwaukee that we just beat the crap out of, and it was just unbelievable that they continued to work. So it was one of those things that I just kind of got sold that brand by experience, and so I've just always bought Milwaukee. But after using this Harbor Freight stuff, I was pretty impressed. So in today's video, my buddy, he was nice enough to lend me this grinder, and he said, do a little head-to-head comparison and just see if you notice any differences, what's different. And I figured that'd make a really good video for anybody out there that's looking at these two grinders. So what we have, 5 amp hour batteries, both of them fully charged. So that just came off the charger fresh. And the Harbor Freight here has a little battery indicator. Looks like you gotta hold it down. 3 out of 3, so it's fresh. They're both 5 amp hour. I'm using the BAUER cutoff wheels. I got a brand new wheel on each grinder. So 40 grit metal wheels, about a 10 pack of Harbor Freight. And then what we're gonna be doing is I got these little 1/4 inch flat bar pieces cut up. And I use these for a lot of my tests. And I got one in the vise here. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use each grinder to make some cuts. And I'm gonna do 3 cuts total per piece. And I just wanna see if I notice any noticeable difference between the two. That's kind of what I'm going for here. I can't really speak on longevity, lifespan of these things, because I would really have to use both of them a lot and put them through a lot of abuse, and I don't have that information for you guys at this time. So I figured, what data can I collect? Well, I could just do this test and to see if I notice any huge differences. In terms of the grinders themselves, they both have a lockout here at the top, making it easy to switch your wheels. The Milwaukee has a switch here on the bottom. It's really big. You flip this little lever and then it allows you to click to turn on the grinder. If you don't press the lever, it doesn't turn on. That's how it works. It's on the bottom. The BAUER has a switch on the top for your thumb. You have to press this down and then you press up, and that's what turns the grinder on. All right. So we have the shield, and then there's no handle on this one right now. It's just bare, and then this one's got all the crap on it. So we're gonna just give it a shot. We're gonna make 3 test cuts with each, and we'll just see how they do. So let's put them head to head and see what's up and see if we can collect any data that helps you guys decide. In terms of price, like I said, 100 bucks here just for the BAUER tool. This is only 40 bucks. So you could likely get the grinder and a battery and a charger for the same price that you would just pay for the BAUER tool. So is it worth it? Well, depending on who you are and how much you use your tools, it may or may not be. By the time you get your money out of a more expensive Milwaukee, maybe they're gonna have a newer, better version that would have been a better value for you. So maybe just spending the 40 to 60 bucks or whatever on a kit for a BAUER would get you by just fine. So let's just go ahead and see that today. Let's put them to the test and see how they do. Alrighty, so I reckon we'll go ahead and start with the Milwaukee. That's what I'm most familiar with. And I'm just gonna make 3 cuts across this 1/4 inch flat bar and see how it does. So let's do it. So that test was actually very interesting. I learned something about this Milwaukee grinder that I didn't know after using this one. So I've always had this thing cut out. You know, when I'm cutting, it does that and then it just stops. And I've always thought that was some sort of lack of power or overheating or something like that, because normally it's when I'm putting too much pressure. But what I realized after using this grinder is I think that mechanism is to stop you from getting like a kickback where it gets too much friction and it kicks the blade and could possibly put a nick in it. Because when I was cutting, I had no issues with this one doing any types of kickback, and I think that's because when I put too much pressure, it would cut out. So this one kind of forces you to use the correct amount of pressure and to cut cleanly and probably a little bit safer, but you get the annoyance of the grinder turning off. Now, the BAUER, on the other hand, felt like more raw power. It didn't cut out during those times, and I actually did have a time where I had a small kickback, and I had to restart that cut. This one did stop a couple of times as well when I put a lot of pressure to it, so it does have some type of similar feature, but this tends to have a looser tolerance for that than the Milwaukee. That being said, I felt like the Milwaukee did cut a little bit faster. It seemed to be just a little bit easier. The only other thing I noticed really in the test that was a big difference was the buttons. This button right here is not super ideal. I think the larger button here on the Milwaukee is nicer, especially if you're using welding gloves. This is very easy to click this down and press the button, even if you have gloves on or whatever. This takes a little bit of finesse to push the button down and then push it upwards to turn the grinder on. And then once it's in the up position, you don't have to press down anymore. You just have to hold it up. But it's a little bit harder to use. I'm sure if I got used to it, it wouldn't be a problem, and it's not a deal breaker whatsoever. But if I had the choice, I would go with this button here. But that being said, guys, there's not really a big enough difference between these two that I would say that one is really an inferior tool. They both performed great. They both cut great. And I think for the price, this is a heck of a tool for the money. I mean, 40 bucks for the BAUER tool versus $100, if not more, because this was on sale for this grinder here. So if you're just going on value, I think the BAUER is a great option. But it just really depends on, you know, what your setup is and which one you want to invest your money into batteries. Are there certain tools in the Milwaukee line that you're looking at that you need? Like if you need a really high performance 1/2-inch impact, typically Milwaukee has the highest specs on those in their fuel line with their brushless motors. So if that's something you're interested in, then you're likely just going to buy the grinder that you already have the batteries for. But if you're just looking to start a new collection and a grinder is one of the main things you're looking for, they're not really that short of one another. I would say they both performed very well and very impressive in the tests. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I really like both of them. After those tests, we can take a look at the battery levels. The Harbor Freight, still 3 out of 3. The Milwaukee, still 4 out of 4. So didn't really do any number on the batteries. So with all that being said, I think they're both great tools. I think it just depends on who you are, what you like, and how much you're looking to spend. It would be interesting to put these two against with like the fuel version of this, which is obviously more expensive, but it would be cool to check out. But I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I think both of these grinders are awesome. I'll have links to both of them down in the video description if you guys want to reference any of the specs or anything on these. I'll have the link to this one on Harbor Freight, and then I'll have the link to this one on Amazon and Home Depot and all that for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy tests like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do lots of stuff like this. And until next time, guys, leave a like on the video. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.